One of the stories he told was that he went and helped his uncle clean up the mess in the garage with paint thinner and bleach. Wouldn't it make more sense that after his uncle figured out he'd seen his uncle had done something terrible, that he controlled him, that he told him, if you tell on me, I will tell the police that you raped her and that you helped me kill her. If you're Brendan Dassey, would that scare the shit out of you? Would it compel you to help your uncle clean up the mess so he doesn't get caught? Because if he gets caught, he just said he's going to tell the police you helped rape and murder this woman. Huh. Now sense is made here. Suddenly things do start to make sense when you put it in that perspective. The perspective of Stephen Avery being caught, of all things being caught by his unintelligent nephew. So how does his unintelligent nephew know all these facts about what happened? Because he was there. He watched his uncle put his license plate in the unmarked, in a junk car. He watched it. He helped his uncle take the chair out of the van, seat out of the van, and throw it on the fire. He helped his uncle clean up the mess in the garage. But the bedroom never happened, folks. The bedroom never happened. And that's the one thing you got to push out of your mind. The bedroom never happened. There was no rape. If anything, Stephen Avery would have told his nephew that he raped Teresa Halbach out of some sort of desire to feel superior. I wasn't a wimp. I didn't just kill her. I raped her. And if you tell the police that I raped her, I'll tell them you helped. Duh. And then there is the last possibility. We went option A. They both were guilty. Option B, which makes the most sense, by the way, that Brendan Dassey was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong person. Option C will give you a totally different, unique perspective if you have been following what I've been saying about Wayne Edwards. The gentleman was a serial killer from the day he was 12 to the day he was 77, and toward the later years of his career, made a point to frame people for murder so he could watch the police botch up the investigation and see an innocent person sent to jail. That was his thing. He loved making fun of the police. And the Manitowoc County Police were just there, just ripe for that. They had framed this gentleman. They had put him in jail and wrongfully executed, wrongfully put him in jail, and he was exonerated. High-profile case. High-profile case. Not just a high-profile case, but a high-profile case with wrongdoings by the police. Ripe for an Wayne Edwards situation where he liked to be involved. And he liked to do his work on October 31st. Two cases where Wayne Edwards framed innocent people for murder on October 31st. And I already told you about the he was the Zodiac, quote unquote Zodiac killer who was chased by a journalist unmercifully whose name was Paul Avery. And this was a man who wrote a book that had names in it that concurred to his frame-ups, his murders, his killings. He loved to put names that matched in his book to what actually happened over the course of his killings. So to pass up, for Wayne Edwards to pass up a wrongfully convicted man who was exonerated, whose name was Stephen Avery, by police who were corrupt from Manitowoc County. That would have been difficult for Ed Wayne Edwards. So here's the last story that possibly might have happened. And I think, I'm no expert, strongly lean toward the Brendan Dassey's innocent, Stephen Avery's guilty scenario, but, and there's a lot of buts, and I'll give you all the buts, why I think this is the actual events that occurred October 31st, 2003. Teresa Halbach arrives on the property of Stephen Avery to take photographs for the Dollar Trader magazine of his sister Bob Jonda's man. She owns. She's trying to sell. Not unusual circumstances at all. And it is important to say that her last time on property, Stephen Avery showed up at his door in nothing but a towel and freaked her out. But not enough, apparently, for her to ask someone else to come on property. There had to be other photographers, a Dollar Trader, to do that. It doesn't be considered. Nobody considers that. Why would she go on that property knowing the last time she went on there she was freaked out by Stephen Avery? Because he didn't seem a threat. Okay? Here is a guy who showed up at his front door with her in his nothing but a towel, and she says it freaked her out, but she goes back. Why? Obviously because the man was not a threat. If the man was a threat at all, if she thought he was a creep at all, if he thought he was a pedophile or some sort of weirdo, she asked somebody else to go on that property the second time, or she doesn't go at all. Duh. But she shows up on the property and is witnessed by Brendan Dassey as he's coming home as doing her job. She's taking pictures. Okay. And she leaves that property. On to the next residence she's going to go to, was Zilla residence. As she's driving down the road, and remember, this area of the country here, it's not like you just drive down a block or so and see a house. You have to drive several blocks to see a house. The houses are at least a mile and a half, 2 miles apart, even more in some cases. So she sees on the side of the road an elderly man with car trouble. Okay. Remember the statements made in the case about her personality, and recall that she's the kind of person, if she saw an elderly man on the side of the road, would stop. She fits that description perfectly. Totally trustworthy of people. She trusts Stephen Avery, even though the last time she saw him, she creeped him out, still went back. This is the kind of person who trusts people. Trust them as they're upfront. They're upfront to her. She believes in people. She is not the kind of person who has concerns that there may be anybody with ill regard against her. Rolls over to the side of the road. The man, elderly man, it was Ed Wayne Edwards, a serial killer of absolutely precision. Turns with his M22, which matches the bullet that Teresa Halbach was killed with, and shoots her in the head. Immediately. I mean, there's never having a discussion. Matches the fact that she was hit, she was shot in the left side of her face. Because your right side would be facing the driver's side, your left side faces your right side faces the passenger side, your left side faces the driver's side. Shot in the face, boom, she's dead. One more time in the back of the head, because, again, this is a man with no consciousness. He wants to make sure the job's done. And she's dead, right there, on the spot. Edward Edwards had a reputation for kidnapping people in their car. He murdered her and put her in the back of her car. Edward Edwards had a reputation for not only shooting the victim, stabbing the victim, and blowing up the victim with makeshift bombs. Here in the middle of nowhere in this town. It isn't. It's not beyond the all reasonable belief that he could just easily take her wherever he wanted to, a remote location he probably already had planned. Stabs her, blows her up, picks up her pieces of her body. And you're saying, really? Yeah, I am saying really. This man was meticulous. This man was good at what he did. He framed several people for murder. Now, we have explained at this point what? We explained at this point the bullet to the left side of the head and the back of the head. And we explained the blood in the back of the car as a result of her bleeding at least quite a bit. And we explained her fragmented body. Have we not? Now, Edward Edwards did go to great lengths in these cause of frame-ups that he would have, in a smaller town like Manitowoc County's town, known some facts about Steve Avery. You don't frame somebody without knowing some facts about the person you try to frame. And he knew Stephen Avery had planned to go to the cabin with his family shortly after October 31st. Opportunity is what people who frame people for murder look for. Yes. And so, after committing this horrendous act against Teresa Halbach, waits for Stephen Avery to leave his property. Yes, his brother is still Ernie, still in the property, but it's a very large area to guard. And he's not guarding, by the way. He's not aware there's any problem. So he's able, is Edwin Edwards, to put Teresa Halbach's SUV on the property, do a very good job of making sure it's not disguised enough not to find, take the plate off, throw it in an abandoned vehicle nearby, take her cell phone and her GPA, and her PDA, whatever it is, throw it in the barrel nearby. Find the pit where Stephen Avery and Bernadette had a bonfire for Halloween, nothing unusual at all. And it's right there. It's right there in the location. Right there behind his trailer. Wouldn't be way off because why would they worry? They're not trying to dispose of the body out of a bonfire. Put the body in the bonfire. Light a little fire so, enough of it, ashes and the clothes combined together. Like I said, throw the GPA in the cell phone in a nearby burn barrel. Take some more pieces of Teresa Halbach into another burn barrel just to make sure there's no chance the police won't find it. Go into the work area of Stephen Avery and find sweat, DNA, and everything you need, blood, whatever. The guy worked at a car disposal area. It worked. Probably cut himself several times in the process of working there, and sweat for sure. Rub a little bit of sweat underneath the hood of the SUV, so it shows that he opened the hatch to put her in. Swab some DNA on the key, and throw the key somewhere close by to the area. Most of the things that he did were probably involved in going to the garage. Breaking into the garage, which with him would have been easy. Again, Ernie's not looking for someone to break into the place. He probably did this late at night. Put the remaining 9 shotgun shells that he fired off as M22 at either Teresa Halbach or maybe the sky for all we know. And the other 2 shells, of course, into the garage. Not